Okay, it's Saturday the 27th of January, almost a month in to a year in a motorhome in the UK. Today's been an awesome day. I got out of bed at about just before 8 o'clock. I had a good night's sleep last night. Still woke up a few times, and then I was tossing and turning a little bit for a little while before my alarm went off. But having the Fitbit, I can see the truth basically. So last night was my best sleep score so far. Still definitely ways to improve my sleep, but being back from the road, it's a quiet place, there's nobody going past, that's definitely a help. The earplugs, definitely recommend earplugs. They are a bit of a no-brainer. It was even cold last night. I think it was 5 degrees C in here, but getting used to it, it felt cool, but it didn't feel cold. Whereas previously, when it's 4 degrees, I can really feel it on my face. I was okay this morning. The leisure battery actually was a little bit warmer than it was in here. So whether the dressing gown that doesn't get used, that is currently around one side of the leisure battery, whether that helped. So close to needing the self-heating function to come on at 5 degrees, but all okay. I got up at 8 and got dressed straight away, made hot lemon water, packed up from the plot I'm staying on at the moment, and drove into Pershore. I went straight to the gym. So I've had a day mostly of exercise. So I went to the gym, and my plan was to do half an hour of gentle yoga to stretch my body, to then go and do a fairly big run out in the countryside. But the yoga session I chose was yoga conditioning, so it was pretty full on, but I stuck with it, and then went out for a run, went all the way up the hill out of Pershore towards Croom, then cut through Tidsley Woods. This won't mean anything if you're not from around here, but it's a nice run. It's about 5k in the end, so that's something I haven't done for quite a while, so that was pretty good. And then doing a bit of a circuit on the way back to the leisure centre, I stopped at the motorhome, had my overnight oats, which I never do overnight oats because there's just no point in doing it that far in advance. I had oats and nuts and seeds and cinnamon, turmeric and all the other good stuff. Made myself a coffee, wandered back to the leisure centre, up to the gym, into sort of on the mats area, and did another half an hour of this time gentle stretching, sort of flowing vinyasa yoga. So that was all good. Went back to the motorhome, made myself lunch, which just kind of chopped up salad and some cheese and herbs and spices and all that sort of stuff. Did a few things on the laptop, and Michael at Real Branding, who they run the barn, the building they're in. They also call it the barn because they have a shared office, so that's where I rent desk space every other week. He very kindly said that I could use his piano to do a bit of practice, so I went in and had a go learning the circle of fifths. so I did that. So it's been a really nice day actually. And then I treated myself, well, it's not a treat is it necessarily, but decided to get a bit of a junk dinner, so got fish and chips, and then drove back to the plot I'm staying at, unlocked and locked up, so I'm all secure in here. Decided to leave the blinds open at the moment. It's pitch black still. So that's that, and then nothing else to say from today. My aim is tomorrow, I was going to go and get some work done at Dan's, but all the parts haven't arrived, so we're going to delay the work, and so all the work can be done together, which means I'm going to be here tomorrow doing some odd jobs around the place as a way to say thank you for letting me stay. And based on some of the latest science that I've heard today, I'm going to actually aim to get up with the sunrise, which will be about the time I wake up anyway. But I'm really keen. The science that I heard today is that if you get outside and watch the sunrise, and then be outside as much as you can through the day, and then be outside and watch the sunset. So watching the sunrise outside, not behind glass or plastic, watching the sunset outside, not behind glass or plastic, doing those two things will help to improve my circadian rhythm. And I'm wondering if that is another way to help me stay asleep longer. It's pretty tough getting up at 5 a.m. It's pitch black and it's dark for a good few hours. If I'm with Arthur, I don't want to turn on all the lights, and the lights just aren't bright. And a bright light isn't the same as outside, so it's a bit of a myth. You need actual sunlight. Even being outside when it's a full moon is nowhere near enough as being actual outside in actual sunlight. I'm wondering if that could be another reason why I'm struggling. I think when I first started to struggle to sleep was just after exactly at the same time as my dad died. Straight after that, I haven't been able to sleep. I can't imagine it's that anymore, but maybe I've then transitioned into winter where I'm up when it's dark. I'm quite keen to try that. The other thing is getting as much darkness when the sun's gone down. That also is super important. Now, obviously I've got these lights on, but once I finish filming this, I turn all the lights off, and at most I have just a couple of the lights on. It's pretty low lighting. I'm keen to do that. I did actually I listened to the Huberman Lab podcast, which is absolutely amazing. Based on that episode, which is what I was listening to today, I did message and say, they say it's not enough to be indoors because glass removes most of the benefit of the sunlight. Now, if you've got big skylights, that can help, but ultimately you need to get outside. But I'm curious, what about my plastic windows? There's loads of nice natural light coming in, but does the plastic remove a lot of the benefit of the sunlight as well? That said, I do aim to get outside as much as I can. This last week, especially wearing the Fitbit, it's really motivated, it's really prompted me much more to get out. And when I get my 45-minute reminder to get up away from the desk, do some stretches and actually just do a walk around the block, so I'm getting natural outdoor sunlight then. So still on a big mission, but which I do find it's easier to live well in the motorhome. Because if I want to go outside, or if I want some space, I've got to get outside. I can't go to another room, which is why I'm doing it. So that's it. Nothing else to say, I don't think, in a nice rhythm. And I'm still dressed, which is unusual because this is 7:30. So that's what I've got to be careful of, is when I'm not with Arthur, is that I stick to the same routine. Now, I'm keen to start waking up to watch the sun rise. Now, there'll become a limit to that once we get into summer, because the sun will be up at 3:30 and I can't do that. But at the moment it makes sense to start waking up at the sunrise and to follow that all the way through to when the sun's rising at around 5 o'clock. And at that point I just won't get up any earlier. So I'm keen to see if that can help my circadian rhythm. But that's it. When I'm not with Arthur, I need to keep to the same routine in the evenings, and that basically just gives me more time to read and chill out. It's important not to push it too late, especially on weekends where I know I'm going to get up a bit later than I would in the week. So there we go. Let's see what tonight holds.